Yeah, we find her, that beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. So it goes so, the remix.
B&B, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time with things to go off fine. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. And now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl.
Body me LP, oh yeah,
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk. She must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together. Take your place in my heart. With your beauty I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep tearing in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money, you seen her? Hot Ice, have you seen her? LP, have you seen her? I'ma go over the Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMV, baby. Look. Beautiful. I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace of her presents and gifts. Call me Santa. Claus, I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me ass and culture, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thigh.
We done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
What is going on? All right, so it's a little strange. I am away. This is my Empire Pro mobile. Okay, so welcome to the live show. This is a live broadcast, but it's pre-recorded. Okay, so do me a favor. I want you to do me a favor. I am going to be away for about 2 weeks, so and my schedule is discombobulated and in the middle of nowhere, and you know, it's just better that I continue to show up, but virtually. But I want you to engage in the chat. Please do engage in the chat. I am watching. I will also be interactive in the chat from time to time. Leave your comment, engage. Let's continue the mission. But here's what I promise you: I will continue to show up every other day live with a live broadcast, and then we will continue the mission as usual. But yeah, welcome. Do me a favor, just say something in the chat, interact with each other in the chat. Let's keep the community going. Okay, I will be shouting you out on the following, like, you know, like that, like live later on, just letting you know that I see you. Also, I might be shouting you out in the chat. So go in the comments, everything. But welcome to my Empire Pro Studios. Okay, welcome to Man of Prestige. My name is Ola, and like I said, I am coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios mobile, my Empire Pro mobile. So welcome back. Shout out to all my sponsors: Mo Fresh, Richie, Life with Natu, Adeswa. Let me first of all make sure my audio is good, because we can't, you know, exactly. We're good. All right, so shout out to Mo Fresh, Richie, Life with Natu, Adeswa, Film Girl, Tima, Show Mama, Grace Corner, and of course D Love. Welcome. Let me just check something real quick. I just want to make sure that I'm covering everybody, right? Just want to make sure I covered everybody. So shout out to the sponsors. Yep, Mo Fresh, Natu, Richie, Adesua, Film Girl. All right, good. All right, perfect. So we're in November. This is November. And shout out to everybody who said happy birthdays to me yesterday. I want to say thank you. I had a good time. I had a moment of reflection. Yeah, 4-4, the big number 4-4. But I'm glad, I'm happy, I'm grateful, I am healthy, and God has blessed me with a lot of good people around me, particularly my wife, my children, my parents, my siblings, even on the in-law side. I have a lot of good people and love around me. My all my foreparents, as a matter of fact, you know, my father, you know, my mother, all those people, you know, I have a lot of good people around me. So I had a good time, and I'm actually yet to reply to everybody as I plan to reply to everybody. God help me. But yes, welcome. And yes, I'm looking for today's sponsor. Whoever can sponsor today's show, you can sponsor for as low as 99 cents. In November, our goal is $1,000 in donations and ad revenue, I should say, right? But right now, I think last show we were at $0. We're already at $6.39 right now. So any support is highly appreciated. There should be a $sign with a little box right next to it, or you can just join and become a regular sponsor of the show. I appreciate you all. Hit that like button as you're coming in, share and subscribe. I've got a few stories that I want to cover today, and it's going to be a lot of fun covering those stories. I think they're very, very hot topics. Over here on Men of Prestige, we talk about relationships, okay? And we basically talk about relationships from a self-power, social, heart of seduction, attraction, and emotional intelligence standpoint. That's what we focus on. We tend to move away from anything right and wrong judgment. The only thing that can come close to is sometimes we clown the story, okay? So sometimes we're laughing, having a good time, especially if I don't know those people personally. But the main purpose, the main goal is to extract these lessons so that you can apply it to building better relationships, nurture better relationships, and have even better and better life, okay? That's what we'll come here to do. So without any further ado, I'm gonna go straight into the story, and I'll be right back.
Beautiful girl, spoiling night, getting tight. I find a beautiful girl.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, great. Let's talk about ABIMBOLA Craig and TOKE MAKINWA. ABIMBOLA Craig and TOKE MAKINWA. So there's I do watch TOKE MAKINWA's shows. Especially when it has to do with relationship and marriage, I have to pay attention to that. All right, so let me see here. So I'm actually gonna play some clip back here. Let's see, let's go back there. Yep, I'm gonna play some clip back, and then we're gonna have some fun extracting some lessons out of these two young ladies. There are two young ladies. Well, TOKE MAKINWA is a birthday mate, so I might have a little bias. If you're born on the same day I'm born, and shout out to, I think it was Mina. I'm not sure who that person was, but the WhatsApp name says Mina in the group chat. That person shares birthdays with me, so happy birthday to you again. Let me see here. Let's find this video so we can talk about it. Oh, by the way, this on the road sessions are going to be kept under an hour, so make sure you show up, spend 1 hour with me, and let's do it. Let's make the most out of it, right? Okay. Yeah, so ABIMBOLA Craig was on TOKE MAKINWA's shows, the TOKE Moments or something like that on YouTube. Yeah, and she had a couple of things to say. I think she's carrying a lot of wisdom there, but I don't know how old she is. Let me see here. She's an actress. Okay, she's an actress. Let me see if I can find it. There you go. Let me see if I can find a little bit of something about her profile. TOKE MAKINWA is a TV personality, radio personality in Nigeria. She runs YouTube shows and stuff like that. So, but yeah, wow, she's also my birthday mate. So that is crazy. She's 37 years old, right? She is 37 years old. ABIMBOLA Craig is 37 years old. TOKE is 38. I think she was born in 85. Same birthday. That's interesting. All right, so I have to be nice, okay? ABIMBOLA Craig is a Nigerian Hollywood actress and producer that starred as Tiwalade in Skinny Girl in Transit. That was one of my wife and I's favorite shows to watch on YouTube. I'm not sure if they still come back. She originally was to be the producer of Skinny Girl in Transit, but ended up being the lead. Since season 1, ABIMBOLA has gone ahead to not only act as lead, but has also produced season 2, season 6 of Skinny Girl, to season 6. Wow. All right, so that's a show on YouTube. You guys should check it out. I think it's a good show with Ayola or Ayola something. That guy is also a good actor. It's one of my favorites, actually, Nollywood actors, if I would say. But let me share this video with you. Let me share this video with you so we can take it from there. I'm going to share my screen in a second here. Let's see, share screen, and there you go. And the title of this video, shout out to TOKE Moments. So fair use, we're going to use this video within fair use guidelines. It says marriage and your self-discovery journey featuring ABIMBOLA Craig. Well, TOKE MAKINWA is divorced. I don't think ABIMBOLA has ever been married before. So let's play it and let's see what they have to say. I play maybe 2 clips from there and then we'll talk about it. Let's go.
Waiting this up.
Waiting this up.
No, things they happen. No, things they happen. And that's why they'll tell you, anybody that sound will tell you that one of the greatest mistakes you can ever make in life is marrying the wrong person.
Pastor LUCKETT says that all the time.
No, it's a truthful thing.
All right, that's what I wanted to pick out of that. They said one of the greatest mistakes you can ever make is marrying the wrong person. Okay, here's what I enjoy most about what they said. They said one of the greatest thing, right? They didn't say the greatest thing. They said one of the greatest thing, right? But I personally don't really believe too much that marrying the wrong person is that common. Okay, it's possible, right? But there are 2 things: marrying the wrong person or feel like you married the wrong person. There are 2 things. Okay, there are 2 different things. Okay, one tends to be the one that most people gravitate towards: I married the wrong person, right? Like, even if that's not the case, there could be something else, right? And I wanted to highlight that with that statement because not enough people are highlighting that statement. Hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button, right? Not too many people highlight the fact that if you did courtship and you went through, even if it's 2 weeks courtship, which is kind of weird, but if you went through all of that and then you end up marrying that person and then you had kids with them and then you say married the wrong person, I think that's half of the truth at most. There's more to that, right? It's we always come up with all these different sayings that are basically attempts to generalize, but particularly to oversimplify very complex issues. The issues are not complex. We are complex, right? As human beings, we are complex, right? So you might marry a person, right? And then the situation end up completely, you guys showed each other shege. And before you know it, the marriage is in the poto, like about 50% of the situation, depending on what society you live in. I actually will argue it's probably much more in 3rd world countries and even in the Middle East. It's just that it's not written on paper. Okay, so your marriage end up in the poto. All right, literally you pulled yourselves into poto, you dragged each other, right, inside the marriage, outside the marriage, until later. Shout out to Jamie and Nikki. We're going to talk about that in a second here. So now you walk around, you talk about you married the wrong person. Are you realizing the other person also, they're saying they married the wrong person? What problem is that solving? Did we solve the problem, right? When we say to people, one of the greatest things you can do is to marry the wrong person, as right as that is, right? As right as that sounds.
You're right.
Is that really a solution-driven statement? Because think about it. If that was a solution, that means all you have to do is marry the right person. When you do marry the right person, is that guarantee that all is well? Everything will be fine. You will have an awesome marriage. It will be perfect. Is that the guarantee right there? Because I beg to differ, right? There's no guarantee in life, right? But however, because there's no guarantee in life does not mean we shouldn't plan for or prepare for, right? So with that being said, I think the greatest mistake, so I'm not going to mince these words right now. I think the greatest mistake that people make when they come to marriage is not that. They didn't say it is. They said one of the greatest. I think the greatest is going into a marriage and not learning anything about conflict handling. In fact, I'm going to play one more thing. Another great mistake that's probably greater than what they said is going to a marriage and not having adequacy of grace. And she mentioned it herself. I'm going to move this clip forward to that point. I'm going to play it because I think something we should process is conflict handling, grace, lot of grace. What's that? Grace, patience for yourself, more importantly, because you can't pour from an empty cup. Okay, sometimes you're so frustrated with yourself and you married and then it's basically you're pointing. Sometimes it's guilt. You're pointing your finger at yourself that I married the wrong person, and that really doesn't solve any problem.
Your little business could become a big business.
All right, so let's see here. Let me skip this guy. There you go.
Once or twice before I got the hang of it. But this is a guy that we might fight. I will still get it. Have you eaten? He will order food. When I want to talk about other things, he's gone. He's not talking to me, but he touched me that whole
taking care of
yesterday's fight
yeah.
must not affect how we relate with each other. And that's how I've now become even in my relationship. Sometimes I will forget. If I'm fighting with my man from last night, I will message him first in the morning. Finally, I realize that this guy really came to my life. Yeah, but I've changed. It took happening. Learning. So what I'm trying to say to you is sometimes people are not patient with themselves enough. I didn't mean this guy was caught with me and said it's over. I probably wouldn't have learned the lesson I learned.
I agree.
But it took a couple of things happening. Sometimes even visiting family, his family, or even his sisters are around. We're not talking, but in there, it's like, oh, you know, TOKE just did this. Oh, you know, TOKE. And once they leave, Monica, we just go to our corner. Like, don't speak to me. You know, but I learned that and I've become that person. So I feel like people don't give each other the grace that we talked about.
Grace.
That's very important.
Grace, patience.
I think that
nobody gives us. I'm
very proud of this ladies, this Scorpio ladies right here.
Relationships, to friendships, and I'm realizing that. But if there's one thing that I'm learning that you should learn from now, that you can carry into every season and relationship. Like relationship I'm talking about is both friendship and love.
Anything.
Is that grace. Most importantly for yourself and for people. It is, but you need to. Because once you understand,
all right. So go watch that. Go watch the show. It's called Marriage and Your Self-Discovery Journey with ABIMBOLA Craig on TOKE Moments. Go watch it. Go watch the full thing. I want to know your thoughts about this. Not having enough grace and patience for yourself. Not learning conflict handling before you enter marriage are greater than marrying the wrong person. Because one, you can actually learn something from it. The other one, there's no real solution behind it because you don't really know what you're doing when you say I do. That's the reality across the board. It doesn't matter how long your premarital counseling was. So, but at least one thing you can get away from it is conflict handling, because it's going to happen. There will be friction, right? So I want to know your thoughts in the comment area. Let me know your thoughts. Just share it exactly as it comes to you in the comment area, in the chat. And then but I want to move on to the next story because again, we're doing Man of Prestige Mobile, so let's keep it moving. I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Awesome. Welcome back. So I want to talk about a topic on hierarchy of relationships with Dear Future Wife and LETOYA LUCKETT. Dear Future Wife was on, not Dear Future Wife. LETOYA LUCKETT, who was one of Destiny Child, one of the original Destiny Child, was also a solo artist in her own right with some hits under her belt. I think she divorced not too long ago. And I remember that she might have had even a reality TV show at one point. She had a reality TV show at one point, and you know, I think I might have done a few interactions here and there back on LolaandOla.com. I'm not sure. I don't remember now. Some years back. But it was quite obvious that to me, not necessarily to the rest of the world, it was quite obvious that what she had going on with with the husband at the time is not necessarily something solid. Again, this is not a situation of it's the wrong husband. It's just a lot of people get into marriage, they don't know what they're doing, they lack game. Okay, so but it's quite interesting to hear some of our take on Dear Future Wife. Shout out to Lataras. And I thought I had some insights to it that I wanted to bring to speed here, so you guys can, so the Prestige family can get my own take on it, then I would love to hear your own take on it as well. Okay, so I'm gonna play a video, a little bit of clip here within the fair use guidelines from Dear Future Wife, Dear Future Wifey rather. Dear Future Wifey is the name of the platform, and then we'll take it from there. All right, let me go ahead and play this right now. Let's go.
It was an interview that I went on YouTube and went to go find how long ago was this interview. And it was months ago where you did this interview where you said that you believe the hierarchy of relationships should literally be you, well, like the spouses and then the children. Why in the world? No, I am gonna ask you why. Because I said I'm gonna talk about it. Because this is me right here.
Oh my
There was
goodness.
nothing wrong with what you said. Matter of fact, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be spouse, then children. First of all, it's supposed to be God spouse, children, and then everybody else.
I'd even give you another one, Letarius.
What's
it's
that?
God, you, spouse, children. Right? Because you can't skip your responsibility to be a healed enough
Slide the microphone close to your mouth.
All right, so I want to know in the chat if you disagree with that. Let me know why you did in the chat and the comments. Let me know if you actually disagree with that. Okay. Again, God, spouse, children. God means spouse, children. You know. But wife and I actually have, oh, by the way, I forgot to look at me. So because I'm on the road, I'm a little bit off my base, okay? You can download our books for free. Hold on one second here. You can download this book for free, okay? This is my wife and I's testimony. You can download it for free at loveandprestige.com. And you can also get on the waiting list for this one. It's coming out in December 30, okay? But pardon me, I forgot that. I'm not home, so my regular routine is off, right? So inside of our original book, which was released 2018 August, this 5 years old baby right here, you might want to check out chapter 8. Chapter 8, the 3 core pillars. The 3 core pillars that my wife and I share is God, purpose, self. So even children is not even involved in that, okay? Because again, they become a beneficiary of, if you follow that lane properly. God, purpose, self. God, purpose, self. Even self will fall apart if you're not engaged with your purpose, right? So that's the only context I will add to what they're saying, because I agree with them 100%. So God, they said God, God, you, spouse, children, right? So, but it depends on the context. What context are we talking about? You know, we're right and wrong type of mindset, right? Usually, this is a case of you're trying to compare one thing to the other. Okay? That's usually what we're talking about. You're trying to compare one to the other. So, do you pick your children, you pick your spouse? Always pick your spouse. Okay? But when we put God into that and we start making it multiple different things, it becomes another conversation, right? So, but if we were talking about that, then it's really God, purpose, self. Because if you put yourself before purpose, you know, it's going to fall apart too. It'll only matter of time, because you're a human being like the rest of us, right? And you have issues, you have trauma, you have emotional trauma, whatever background and stuff, all this kind of stuff, right? That's why I always tell people, whatever we do, even when we're talking about apologies, whatever you decide to do, however way, you need to understand the purpose, right? So even you as an individual, if you don't understand, if you don't have a good sense of purpose of why you're here in life, whatever that is, right, you're probably going to have trouble taking care of yourself. You're going to always reflect back to other people. You're going to seek validation in a very unhealthy way from other people, right? But when you know that you're here for a purpose, and you've identified that purpose, which is work that needs to be done, right? Then it becomes easier for you to pour. You'll be pouring into other people, like for example, your spouse, and then your children. But again, there's multiple conversations going on at the same time. I think they did address all of it, because I haven't finished watching it. But I wanted to point this out in the way that we follow in our own curriculum is God, purpose, self. Okay, when it comes to marriage, if you're trying to have marriage, that you have a solid marriage, it's God, purpose, self. The spouse, the children, they're beneficiaries of that. Okay, basically they're beneficial. You're able to pour from unconditional love because you have God. Purpose because you understand, you have self-esteem, right? Your self-esteem is built on purpose, right? It's basically how you become valuable to other human beings. And if you haven't taken the time to really process that and understand that, no matter how much you tell yourself self, it won't work. You might even start coming from a very selfish place, you know. So I wanted to point that out really quickly. I think there might be another small part of the clip that I'm still watching. Go watch LETOYA's at Dear Future Wifey, and then you can see what I'm talking about. I think it was a really good conversation because the lady that was talking is she's I don't know if she's a therapist or something like that. Yeah, I think she is. She's a LETOYA's therapist, and she gave some really good insight. So GPS, God, Purpose, Self. GPS, God, Purpose, Self. I think there's one more place I wanted to play. 12:40. Let me see. Okay, let me play that really quickly here. There you go. Let's see.
What is your take on?
This woman is an anomaly.
You see. There you go.
Why is it, because I have an answer for it and I want to hear what you got to say. Why were predominantly women triggered by her saying that the spouse comes before the kids?
Because I think historically.
So again, go watch it. I want to know in the comments in the chat, why is it that a lot of women push against the idea that you put now in this one conversation, your spouse versus children? Why are they struggling with understanding the concept of hierarchy? That hierarchy means structure. Why are they why is it that, you know, I think they have an answer somewhere here, an idea, but I want to hear your own. I want to see your own words. Maybe you have some additional context to it. Why? Because I think LETOYA has an answer here that I think is well aligned. Let me play it.
Here that have been abused, right? So I'm not speaking about staying in an abusive relationship.
We're not here on Man of Prestige. Okay, I'm gonna end this segment with that because I really want to know your thoughts. Right? We're not talking about extreme abusive situation. If you have that case, you need to you need clinical help. You talk to a therapist. Okay, we're talking about regular good old people that still end up in court, in divorce court, in child support court, custody battles and stuff like that. Good people, because of lack of game, okay, lack of skills. That's the reason, okay, because they continue to use common sense, and they end up falling on their face. That's the issue. Okay, that's what's going on for the most part. There is minority of people going through terrible situation. One person in an abusive situation is one too many. We're very clear about that. That's a different conversation though. That's a different conversation. We're talking about you're a normal person, but you're finding that you're starting to question about is your partner sick? Are they a narcissist and all this kind of stuff? There's a good chance it has nothing to do with that, but it doesn't change the fact that the results you're creating is potok. So I understand, okay, but we're not talking about we're talking about just normal people. Quick question: why is it that a lot of women struggle with that? By the way, let me be clear before I move on to the next story. A lot of men struggle with that today too, but we're in a situation where men are confused with their masculinity. They're also saying, let me pick my mother over my wife. Why do you think that's going on today? All right, I'm going to leave that to you so we can move on to the next segment, as we only have 1 hour to do this mobile versions of this live broadcast. I'll be right back.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One loving up, we done enough.
All right, we have the story. I need to finish watching Auntie B's show because I was in transit when that show was going. I saw a little bit, maybe about 7 minutes of it, so I need to watch it again. But I was able to, as I was about to take off in the plane, I saw the story on Instablog Nigeria, and then I took some screenshots, and I was in the middle of the transit. I read some of it, but I said, you know what, I need to come back here and cover this with you all, and then see where we can go with it. All right. So let me find the story. This JAPA husband who got stranded, apparently got stranded, was left stranded by the wife, right? Was left stranded by the wife at the airport by a JAPA wife. I'm just going to read the story and then we'll take it from there. Let me see here. Okay, I found it. So Instablog Nigeria reads, JAPA, Nigerian man stranded faces deportation after his wife allegedly took the children and abandoned him at UK airport. Okay, so I'm going to read some lady called Dubby, some JW. Hello everyone. She posted this. She, hello everyone. A family friend of mine is in urgent need of a job with sponsorship. Last month he arrived in the UK with his children as dependents, and his wife went to pick them up at the airport and asked to see their children's passports, which he handed over without any suspicion. She then told him that their marriage was over and wanted nothing to do with him. She took the children and abandoned him at the airport. He just come to the UK for the first time to join his wife, who came last year to study. So she's also JJC in the UK. He helped pay her fees and sold off everything he had to join her. All right, I don't know, but this was your wife. Okay, so that's already questionable when people are talking about their wife and they talk about how they paid for something and then they act like they were doing a stranger a favor. That's always a questionable. At the very minimum, it tells us that there was already a problem. Okay, because if you already feel like you were one with that person, that thought will not have any place at all. You know, it just won't be there. Right? Yeah, if you're with your wife and everything is all good and done, the last thing you're thinking about is I'm doing this for her. I'm doing this for us. You know, that's what it would be. Shout out to Bro K. I have a Pastor K that I will bring on at some point. Not the Pastor K, not Pastor Kingsley, but another Pastor K. That he had this experience hands-on. We're going to talk about it. I'll bring him on during our promotion in December when we start going through the Project 100K promo in December. All right, great. So she then told him that the marriage was over. Okay, she then told him that the marriage was over and not okay. All right, so the first time he sold off everything to join her. Today the Home Office, that's the immigration people in the UK. I think in the US we call it the Homeland Security, something like that. It's either immigration or, basically one of the two. INSC, something like that. Anyway, today the Home Office sent him a letter saying that he has until 1st of January to return to Nigeria. He has nothing to go back to. He can go back home. Okay, my bad. Sorry. It's terrible. So far, the story is terrible. Okay, it's sad that he's going through that. Okay. But he has nothing to go back to. Is manipulative. I can see through that statement. He has nothing to go back to and may never see his children again. I am pleading with anyone who can help him with a job referral so that he can stay and fight for his children. If you know of any job openings and can put him in touch with someone who might be able to help, please reach out to me. I would be incredibly grateful. All right. And this is the Home Office letter that they're saying he needs to go back home. Right, and here's some screenshots. People have receipts, right? They always show us receipts. Shout out to Jamie Perkins. They always show us receipts. For those saying it's unbelievable, these are some of the chats before he traveled. They never quarreled. Let me see. I'm gonna make this you guys can see. Here you go. They never quarreled. Never. Always a lie. See, I just used the always too. That means it's a lie too. Listen to what I just said. Never. Anytime someone put never and always in a statement, especially that has to do with romantic relationship, it's always a lie. Okay? And even the statement I just made has always in it. That makes it a lie. Meaning there's no absolute is the point. Okay? It's a vicious cyclical lie. Basically, it's always a lie. Anytime somebody say never, just don't call them a liar. You can just sing to them. That's all.
Why the fuck you lying?
You can just sing to them, but be nice, okay? Be nice. But the point is that at that point, you should ask for more information. Ask them for the rest of the story. Good morning, babe. How are you? Please, when is making our air? Hey, Papa Bear. How are you? I'm fine. Thanks, love. Change Naira to Pounds. Any Naira that enters the UK is worse than useless. They can even, oh dear, just because they're having this conversation does not mean they didn't have any problems. This is a very stupid receipt. Hey, Papa Bear, all right, no worries. Okay, mi amo. Okay, mi amo doesn't mean anything. Okay. It could mean that the marriage is terrible and she's manipulating him, right? She's just deceiving him, like she's been the quote-unquote JAPA wife. It still means the marriage was not solid. Like, who are you deceiving exactly? You're deceiving yourself. It still means that something was wrong with the marriage. Maybe you're not aware of it. Something was wrong. Okay. All right. So, okay, my beautiful wife, I'm praying for safe journey, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, as to be suspected, some people came out with some quote unquote receipts. But I suffered physical, emotional abuse for 9 years. The woman accused of abandoning her husband at UK airport speaks. So somebody posted something. This family friend named Henry Osa is a serial beater and a man husband. So I'm deliberately not getting involved. Okay, so somebody already saying it's a lie. It's a guy who actually is a perpetual beater of wife. Okay, wait, Auntie B is here. Auntie B said, real tragedy is never resolved. It goes on hopelessly forever. Convention tragedy is too easy. The hero dies and we feel a purging of emotions. A real tragedy takes place in the corner, in an untidy spot. To quote, wow, that's some deep stuff, Auntie B. Okay, Sarah is here. This does not still justify a level of wickedness. Sarah has not learned anything. Sarah Martin, the same one that was supporting you, LETOYA. Clearly, this person, oh God, if he was as bad as you're portraying him, why didn't you divorce him in Nigeria and take custody? It's not realistic to ask people to play fair when they don't collect what they would do. I need you to have realistic expectations when it comes to these issues. It's unrealistic at best to ask people to play fairness. Okay, you need to manage your expectations around asking people to play fair. It doesn't work, okay? And you know it doesn't work because you can see the evidence everywhere, okay? But so if it's true, then I'm not saying he deserved it, but the point we're making here is that there's no smoke without fire. Okay, every action is a reaction. It doesn't have to be your fault. But when you know that as a fact of life, you kind of like navigate life a lot more better, you know. But the point here is that it's easy to jump on the internet and tell BS stories, okay, from one side, right? But some of us can see through it without listening to the other side. First, we can just see through. We can already like tell us the rest of this story. I beg. But I'm going to leave that there for now. We will talk about it if we have to later on. I'm sure the story will probably come out more later on. But they are all liars. All liars. They're not telling us the rest of the story.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Yeah. I'll be right back. Let's move on to the next story. I'll be right back.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. Finally, for today, what is the end goal for Jamie? What is the end goal for Jamie? Oh, this is for D-Love. I did this for you, D-Love. If you see in the title, it says I replaced the O in Nikki's name with a 0. See, I'm not, so Jamie and Nikki, and I will stay away from her last name, I promise. Okay, what is the end goal for Jamie? Jamie and Nikki are basically YouTubers that their marriage ended up in the poto. In recent times, Jamie came on the internet. He released 2 videos so far to drag his wife, in the same breath asking people, please don't be mean to my wife, but I'm going to tell you everything she did wrong, and indirectly kind of tell you to go and drag her. Okay, and then he took the video down, and then he put the video back up again with a ton of receipts, and those receipts were receipting. right? So it's obvious to us that it's basically obvious to us that Nikki don't show this man shaggy, you know. But this man is actively trying to tell us that he was innocent in this situation, and we too, we can see through that, right? Prestige family, we can see through all of that, right? So it's a couple of comments here that I wanted to read that I found fascinating. I thought, oh, we should talk about it. Let's see here. So, what is the end goal? Somebody asked in the comments. I'm going to read that comment right now. Hold on one second. Yep, somebody asked in our comments, and the person will say, what is the end goal? I want to make sure I mention this person's name. So if you leave comments for me, I want to start shouting you out. All right, I'll say thank you. Okay. All right, first of all, all right, so there are two comments. Shout out to Omo0910. Who's this person? Let me see if I can see their real YouTube name. Okay, Black Blockchain Babe. Awesome. All right, so Black Blockchain Babe. The person says, women, especially black women, sympathize with Jamie because he's white. A lot of black women, not all, love to romanticize white men. Okay, let me read that again. Okay, I want to know your opinions about this. All right, women, especially black women, sympathize with Jamie because he's white. A lot of black women, not all, love to romanticize white men. If Jamie was a black man, he wouldn't get this much support from black women. Sorry to bring race into it, but it's facts. Okay, when you say something is fact, I instantly get triggered and I question it, but I'm going to let it pass because that's not the major part of what you're saying. Okay, is it true that black women, I'm generalizing, he's generalizing, tend to romanticize the idea of a white man being as innocent as Jamie has been painted? Is it true? So leave me your answer in the chat, in the comments. Okay, I might come back to it, but I'm interested in knowing what you think about that. Okay, but I want to say a quick shout out to, let me see here, who is this person? To-do list checklist. This was to-do list checklist on YouTube. Okay, shout out to you, to-do list checklist. I appreciate you. All right, the person says, shake my head. If Nikki is such a violent person, why are you sharing 50-50 custody with her? That's a question, right? But again, there are so many nuances to this stuff, so I'm not sure. Again, if somebody is a violent person, sometimes people are they love, not love, but they get stuck with their victims. With their, what's the opposite of victim? With their abuser. Some people do, okay, and a lot of men do, okay. In fact, I might argue that most men do, okay, than women would, right? Then we realize. Let me say, then we realize most men would stay with the abuser more so than we realize, not necessarily more than women, because we know that men, the stats that shows that women go through more abuse, but more than we realize, right? So let's be clear about that. So maybe that answer will lie in the, because our question, or his question, I'm not sure, is why are you sharing 50-50 custody with her, right? He's also made a lot of points to, he doesn't, like some of the screenshots says, I want, like he was even trying to give her space, that I want my children to have a good mother, who is a mother who is stress free, something to that effect, right? So again, none of these people are bad people. It's lack of skills, mismanagement of pride, ego, expectations, and lack of skills. All of that is attached to lack of skills. So, and that's majority of us, especially if we are fresh in this situation. So anytime I see somebody pull up with some kind of I'm holier than thou, I will never do this, that person will end up in the same situation, just in a different way. It will look different on the surface, but they too, yes, they too, not only just them, right, their spouse, their children, all of them will collect too. Why? Because their mindset is already suggesting that that, you know, their mindset is just going to create the wrong solutions, basically, okay? Because remember, they're holier than thou. It will never be them. So when it happens, they're, oh, surprise, it happened again. Yeah, that's basically what Nikki and Jay, they're not special like that, okay? There's nothing peculiar about their situation. It's the same issues that we all have. It just shows up different with different stories, right? Mismanaged ego, pride, mismanaged expectations, and lack of skills, okay? Particularly conflict handling skills. When you find yourself in crisis, not when everything is beautiful and dandy, that moment when you're doing the marriage. When you find yourself in crisis, have you ever had any conversation around the worst case scenario of what you think might happen, right? If your worst nightmare is somebody cheated on you, have you ever had a conversation around that with someone that can actually help you understand what does that look like in real life? Beyond, I will never be me, it will never be me. That's easier said than done. If just like everything I'm saying on this platform, it's easier said than done. When you're in that situation, have you ever had, you probably can't comprehend it because you say it's never you. So it's not your fault that you think it will never be you, right? But please stop telling the people that have been in it that, why did you pick wrongly? What are you talking about? This is just life. This is just life. The only thing we can do with it is learn how to mitigate the risk, right? That's all we can do with it. But let me see here. I'm going to finish reading the comment here. So he says, okay, so a DV or IPV survivor is not going to keep poking at their abuser. They might. Actually, they might. Okay. They shouldn't. Right. They shouldn't. Right. But shoulda, coulda, woulda, wouldn't, coulda, wouldn't, woulda, all that is fantasy. The reality is that what people shouldn't do is what gets done. Am I encouraging that we should do it? No, I think we should acknowledge that first so we can come up with better solutions so we can actually avoid it. We need to acknowledge the reality first, and then we work around creating better experiences, because no one only pass, right? Will not keep poking at the abuser, especially when said abuser has their kids and they have to interact with that abuser weekly. Yeah, it would be an intelligent, smart thing to do, but we lose all of that when you are inside of Poto. All your level of intelligence, all that kind of stuff goes down the hole. Okay, I don't understand. Then the person said, I don't understand the end goal here. And the more Jamie speaks, the more I became scared for his children. He's riling his fans up to attack this woman, and one YouTuber in particular is on Nikki's back so horribly. It's only a matter of time before one of these deranged fans and who believe him ducks the home where his children stay in some crazy sense of justice for Jamie. The man is hurt and only digging himself and his family into a deeper hole. I agree with that part. That's why Jamie needs to seek help. Jamie needs to seek proper counseling. He needs to seek proper help. He needs to talk to the right people. He needs to stay away from any content that has to do with his family, which by default includes Nikki. It's easier said than done. That is granted. That is fair. But in love and war, all is fair too. All of this, like, listen, those are the cards you're dealt. Okay, that's your beautiful ex-wife, baby mother, your family. You need skills. You need to learn how to navigate the new world you find yourself. Life is going to be better on the other side of figuring this out and learning the skills. Okay, he looks very innocent. Is not innocent. Don't get it twisted. In fact, innocence is irrelevant. It's anti-seductive conversations when you're talking about who's innocent, who's guilty, who's at fault, who should be blamed. These conversations are the reasons why people end up in poto. You cannot have that conversation and in the same breath have adequacy when it comes to grace that is much needed when we're talking about relationship, interpersonal relationship, especially when romance is involved, is or was involved, because you will hate yourself so much that you will self-sabotage if you don't fix that. Okay, that's basically that right there. All right, so now with that being said, Let's do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe. Let's be a part of the family. Okay, like dear future wifey LETOYA will say, don't be shocking. Be a part of the conversation in the chat, in the comments. Okay, and again, I appreciate everybody that donates. Everybody that's watching our videos, you're clicking like, you're all of that. Okay, you're sharing. Oh my god, share to WhatsApp, share to your favorite WhatsApp groups. Do me a favor, please do share to your favorite WhatsApp groups. Okay, so let me share some quick lessons here before we end the session for today. Marrying the wrong person shouldn't be your focus. Okay, learn how relationships work across the board, but it starts with relationship with yourself. Learn how to give yourself grace, patience, so you can have enough to pour into other people. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it guarantees the best chances of better life. Okay, so nothing is guaranteed, but I tell you what guarantees a failed situation: when you have the wrong mindset and then you create wrong solutions. Yes, it creates a continuous cycle of the same thing, and that's why people are complaining in dating, relationship, and marriage alike. There's complaints everywhere. Everybody, like, not everybody, but a lot of people are struggling. Okay, and again, GPS, God, purpose, self. God, purpose, self. Everything else will benefit from it, including yourself, right? God, purpose, self. That's the order that I use along with my wife. That's basically what we cover a lot in chapter 8 of this book. All right, so GPS, that's the order right there. And one-sided stories, we can see through it. I can analyze one-sided stories. The point of me analyzing an in-between it is because there's multiple sides to the story, not just two sides. There's as many sides, or as many as there's monitoring spirits. There's that many sides of the story. So don't tell us one side and then you will tell on yourself. If you don't do the work, you will basically tell on yourself. Okay, and in terms of Jamie, what is the end goal? I think Jamie is what is the end goal? Let me ask you like this: for you in particular, whatever action you're taking right now or lack thereof, inaction or action with regards to your personal relationship, have you taken the time to assess what is my end goal? It's almost the same thing as asking what's the purpose of what I'm doing, right? Do I have, like, that's why GPS, purpose. Like, have I taken the time, by the way, on an ongoing basis, it never ends. Am I taking the time to understand this thing right here? What is the end goal for me with all of this, right? So if you operate yourself out of how you feel right now, you're probably almost always going to get it wrong, because how you feel is temporary. You're a human being. It's emotions, right? Emotions don't be your mate, right? But count 10, count 30 seconds. Take a shower, drink water, reassess what's happening. You broke down, you were crying when that moment was happening, but that's how you felt. You were consumed with the emotion, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're just a normal human being. But now you have to rise. You want to become top 5, top 3% of mankind and create the best experience for yourself. Learn how to count down 30 seconds before you act. Okay, you have time, but not really. Okay, so exercise that. Start exercising the 30 seconds now. Don't wait until 5 years from now before you learn that it's probably a bad idea to act out of character because it was justified. You're just speaking your truth. Let's be careful. Let's be careful. All right. So again, leave your chat, your comments, your donations, your like. Hit that like button on your way out. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Beautiful girl, spoiling night, killing time. I find a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing.